Should Monday Night Raw become a 2-hour show again, or maybe Friday Night Smackdown should join Raw and become a 3-hour show? Now, I've been asking around on the Discord and the Twitter what y'all thoughts are, and it does seem like a decent number of people say that yes, it should. Which, by the way, hey, you can go ahead and peep all of the above, both this Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and more, over on here and in the link below. Peep the description. But back to the video. For years and years and years, people have been saying no when it comes to that of turning Monday Night Raw into a 3-hour show, despite it being exactly that for a good, what? How long has it been? Like 12 years now, I think? For a good 10 years. But at the same time, it's kind of dead obvious that, hey, we aren't going to ever have this change. This is kind of just the new norm. Nevertheless, when it comes to that of Monday Night Raw and how the perception has started turning from turn Raw back to 2 hours into, you know what? Maybe SmackDown should become 3 hours. Part of it has to be thanks due to Triple H's way of booking the main roster, to the point where some weeks Raw feels like it actually blows by a little bit faster than it has been in the years before. Raw has gone from feeling like a genuine chore to watch to being enjoyable, but at the same time, I mean, even when it's been enjoyable, there's been points where it feels like a bit of a hard thing to do, watching all 3 hours of Raw, to nowadays, hey, you get banger storyline after banger storyline, genuinely enjoyable moments galore. Meanwhile, on Friday Night Smackdown, it's not like we are absent of good storylines. We have the Bloodline situation going down. You have, if you want to count it, even though they are predominantly a Raw act, the Wyatt Six. Not to mention, we also have the whole Drew Punk stuff, Cody Rhodes in the midst of his Undisputed Championship reign. And that leads to something I've been beginning to hear more and more people say, is that despite all of that, you still have people like Andrade El Idolo. You have people like, I don't even remember where Odyssey Jones is at, if I could be honest. You have people like Baron Corbin, which, believe it or not, for those that have not been that hip with NXT, has turned things around and become genuinely interesting. Your Cedric Alexanders are really even your Hurt Businesses, your Bobby Lashley's and the Street Profits, your Blair Davenports. You have so many individuals that kind of being left high and dry. Your Andrade El Idolos that don't really have enough time to kill it on TV. Even then, this past episode of Friday Night Smackdown, we've had to kind of cut corners when it comes to time management. Having a lot of people, even people that were going to win matches, having jobber entrances. And for those that are not aware of what a jobber entrance is perceived as, is, hey, you make your TV off camera. In turn, it kind of is perceived as if your entrance is not that important to carry on screen. And now it's not even being used because, oh yeah, this unimportant individual is legitimately nowadays being used because we are running low on time. And if we're running low on time with matches that are already set for people that are getting TV time, people have been asking, should we have an extra hour for SmackDown so we can have some more people pop up on screen on TV, and on top of that, so we don't have to deal with more people having jobber entrances like we have had on this week's episode of SmackDown. On top of that, you can give more time to some matches. In the case scenarios, say, hey, maybe we don't have something in mind for a Cedric Alexander, or we don't have something in mind for Ashante the Adonis, or we don't have something in mind for whomever it may be. And on top of that, an extra hour does mean that you could go ahead and dedicate more times for some matches that can genuinely benefit from them. But at the same time, again, there's still some people that say, maybe a 3-hour Raw is a little bit much. So it does feel like a little bit of a conundrum. So I do want some of y'all's thoughts over here on YouTube, whether or not they should go ahead and make Monday Night Raw a 2-hour show like we've been talking about ever since they introduced the 3-hour show format, or should we go ahead and give more time to SmackDown, make it 3 hours, dedicate some time for more people, for more stars that don't get the chance to show up on TV, give more time to more matches. I don't know, there's a lot you can do with the addition of one more hour. But at the same time, one more hour on a already kind of packed schedule for WWE might be a little bit too much to be asking. I mean, you have Raw, 3 hours. NXT, an hour, I believe. An hour, 2 hours, around that point. You have SmackDown, which is currently set to 2 hours, and then the pay-per-view would be another 3. Unless it's WrestleMania, of which case, it's another 6. That is a lot for people to be watching. So quite frankly, there's pros and there's cons to both sides of the argument. But hey, personally, I would say I would be down to experiment with this this idea of a third hour, because I feel like it could genuinely help. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm being naive, but I do believe that WWE could go ahead and properly book a genuine good third hour for Friday Night SmackDown. I don't know. Y'all let me know y'all's thoughts down in the comments below. I've been your reigning, defending, undisputed VTuber World Champion, your Relatilla Dragon Emperor, Dojon Vaughn, and we're out. See ya.